Greetings and salutations, Dota fans! It is I, Badger, back for some more League of Legends Season 10 action. And I am here tonight for Toilet Jork, taking on Miss Who's Piss-Eyed Sippy, aka Frostfire Sims, aka Bing Chilling, aka Nebula. What we have tonight is two very interesting teams stylistically. One far more successful than the other. Nebula 13-7. Toilet Jork 6-12. But it's a sneaky 6-12. Keep in mind, Toilet Jork have drawn 6 series, so clearly they're able to beat teams. They're just not beating them twice. So in that sense, there is some room for growth for Toilet Jork. If they can turn these 1-1s into 2-0s, there may be playoffs in their future. For Nebula, of course, they are aiming for a top 4 seed. As it currently stands, I believe they are 5th in the leaderboard, so certainly it's very much within grasp. Yeah, they are 6th right now, but it's a very tight pack in that like 3rd to 7th sort of area, so yeah, there's literally there's no games pretty much separating between 3rd and 7th, so aiming for those top 4 seeds is absolutely in the cards for Bulljacks and company. Looking over at the heroes in question, however, it's some of the meta staples. Starting off with bans, it is the Respect ban, Acid and Rubik, plus the Nyx ban. Acid also very good. Nyx very good in the meta right now. Zeus ban, once again, understandable. Good in the meta. Both teams like to play it. Mirana bans. There's a lot of 4 heroes being banned out this game. We see a 5-pick Dawnbreaker once again, especially with the Nyx being banned out. That much better of a pick. Nyx, one of the better counters for Dawnbreaker. Will not be there this game. Bulljack says, you know what, you want your OP champion that's brand new from the anime? We'll grab our brand new champion from the anime, the hero herself, Marcy. So Marcy is 6-pick into 7-pick Weaver. And Toilet Jork respond with the Pudge. It is an 8-pick Pudge, which, given the state of the meta, should not be too much of a surprise. Pudge is not particularly that great at any role, but Pudge is one of the few heroes in Dota who can genuinely play every role in Dota. You can play him carry, you can play him mid, you can play him offlane, you can play him in either 4 or 5 support, which is interesting because Dawnbreaker is one of the other few heroes in Dota who that applies to. So Radiance, Toilet Jork have this immensely flexible draft in having a hero who can play 1-5 in the Dawnbreaker and a hero who can play 1-5 in the Pudge. So how they orient these heroes will be interesting. This is one of the few games where I think they actually prefer to have first pick, because now the Dire are picking blindly into 16-pick. And now they've picked this Monkey King, who to a degree it's a flexible hero, but now if you're Toilet Jork, you start unveiling your cards. You place them on the table, like, alright, this is where our heroes are going. We're going to say, you know what, we're going to follow up our good meta heroes with another good meta hero. It's Puck. These heroes being selected, look at it. If you pick these heroes in your Toilet Jork, you know what that means? It means you are here to win. And I like to see teams that are here to win, especially a team like Toilet Jork, who needs wins. They are 6 games under 500. We are coming into the back stretch. There is no time to lose games. So I'm a big fan of this graph from Toilet Jork right now. And notice, they banned, it's all connected to this Nyx ban as well. They banned out Nyx, they picked Dawnbreaker, they picked Pudge, or they picked Puck. Dawnbreaker, Puck, 2 of these 3 heroes they have are very much countered by the Nyx Assassin. So they're capitalizing on their first phase ban. The Rubik ban as well, they're capitalizing on this Rubik ban. Actually, I'm a real fan of what Flash Canoe is doing tonight. Looking over at the other bans, once again, relatively meta fair stuff. Timbersaw, Ember, Invoker, Void Spirit, Necrocotl, all relatively popular, all played by these teams, so. This draft concept from, okay, the Windrunner, not sure I am as big of a fan as meta level-wise, but in terms of draft flexibility, you add to it. Because once again, you have this Pudge, you have this Dawnbreaker, very flexible. Windrunner, we don't know where she's going yet, but she could play 3, she could play 4, she could play 5. So you're still keeping some question marks in terms of how they're using this draft. Knowing what I know about this team, I think Fleshcanoe is trying to angle for the Pudge right now. To play Pudge 5. But I'm not sure if he's going to get it. If I had to guess, it would be Pudge 5, Windrunner 4, Dawnbreaker 3, Puck 2, and the to-be-picked hero 1. But it really could be a number of different things with this Toilet Jork draft. Misuse, Pisside, Sippy, they go for the much more, a much more regimented hero. If you pick Dragon Knight, you know exactly what you're getting. Very tanky hero, very reliable stun, moderately good building push. Can be played off lane, can be played mid lane. I know Marshall certainly can play at 3 for the off lane. I've never seen Campbell play at mid lane, but once again, it's Dragon Knight. Anyone can play Dragon Knights. If I had to guess, it will be Weaver 1, Monkey supports, but it could easily be the other way around with Monkey 1, Weaver supports. I know Fume, the Dire side carry player, is a massive enthusiast of Weaver this patch. Nebula have been picking it constantly. Non-stop picking Weaver. So it should come as no surprise we see Weaver this game going Gleipnir first or something like that. It really should be no surprise what happens. Once again, could be wrong. There is some flex potential. Fume can play the MK if they want to go MK carry. And then like Weaver 4, Barcy 5, but you never know. Seems like Bulljax is thinking what I'm thinking. He's banning out carries. I think Radiant want to carry. He thinks Radiant wants to carry. He bans out Faceless Void. One of Fatslaw the better carries. A smart ban. Toilet Jork. They ban out 2 heroes that the Dire would play off lane. So they think this Dragon Knight's mid. They ban Visage, they ban Enigma. Dire again, ban the Sniper. An interesting ban, but it indicates they don't want to grab a hero who jumps on backlines with this 24 pick. Because once again, if you have like Dragon Knight, Blink, plus Monkey King, plus some other like initiating type hero, whether it's a Blink Dagger Buyer, or a Spectre, or an Anti-Mage, then you'd be very fine with Radiant picking a Sniper. But this makes me indicate that they're just not going to even bother with any of that. They actually don't even want like, a Blink Stunner from their off lane, which is relatively rare, but it means that it may be like an Underlord type pick from the off lane. And I think Underlord actually makes a lot of sense for the Dire's game for off lane. You go Underlord off lane, Dragon Knight mid, Weaver carry, and then you have relatively good cores into the Puck. You throw on that Underlord pit and you make Puck just cry. And I'm surprised that Radiant didn't ban out. I thought Fleshcanoe was having a very good draft until this last ban phase. I think not banning out Underlord could be a mistake. But we'll have to find out whether or not Dire actually prioritized the Underlord with this last pick. Could be completely baseless with.
Dire team pick.
And we see the Jug, one of the best carries of the patch. A hero that Fat Sloth is a big fan of. A hero that Fume on the Dire side is a big fan of as well. So both teams are very familiar with this Jug pick. But we end up seeing a bit of a surprise with this last pick. We do not see an offlaner. So it turns out this Monkey King pick is going to go 3. He is going to lane carry into Jug Pudge. Certainly a doable lane on Monkey King. He will struggle into being hooked under tower. He will struggle into Jug Spin. But outside of those 2 exact interactions, Monkey King will do very well in a neutral lane state where it's Jug and Monkey trying to hit creeps, possibly in a 1v1. That's where Monkey will excel, especially if you can get those Jingu stacks going. I think a lot of this game is going to be Marshall playing the lane well, recognizing when he's strong, when he has stacks of Jingu, recognizing when he needs to be very careful and not get hooked, not get spun on. That is the hero I want to watch. I think that will be the big decider of this early game momentum is how Marshall plays on that offlane Monkey King. I think the Acid Rain Skywrath pick, I mean, it's going to probably just demolish this lane to an extent, but Jug is one of the better carries into this Skywrath. Jug will have to buy a stick, but then again, you generally see Jugs buying sticks anyway, so it shouldn't be too big of a deal for him to buy a stick. I wouldn't be too shocked if he's just trying to control the poles as high as possible, but... as highly as possible, I should say, but... okay, what? Did my Dota just crash? So my Dota just... oh. Wait, it didn't crash?
Can you not make yourself better?
Okay, so something appears to be wrong with my Dota, but it works now, so I don't care. All's well. No, something is definitely wrong with my Dota. I'm going to reload it. Something is very clearly wrong with my Dota, so I'm going to reload my Dota real fast. I don't know what is wrong, but what I do know is I'm going to reload my Dota. And hopefully reloading my Dota fixes whatever it was. Something very clearly was not correct. It was not as it should have been. Hopefully I don't miss First Blood. I don't think I will, given the way they were positioning before I disconnected, but... yeah, I did not miss First Blood. We are seeing a bit of an aggressive posturing by Microfry into this dire side jungle, but it will be the rune where the fighting will probably occur, unless we're going to go for the upwards play here with Clueless. And Clueless, look at this, they're splitting attention. They're both going to look to outclick their counterparts. Bulljax will dispose for his rune, and Microfry will outclick Fume. So, it's very important that Microfry got this rune on the Windrunner, because you don't get that rune on the Windrunner, and suddenly you actually get no runes. So it's a good job that the Windrunner outclicked the Weaver there. It's very important. We are seeing Pudge being gone upon. Actually, correction, he's hooking in Acid Rain. Orb in! First Blood! Goes to Polo, 5885. Marshall has Jingu's. In comes Camel to get a counter kill on the Pudge, but early action early on, and Puck, the big winner of that kill, of course. It's going to be interesting to see exactly what happens now that in this bottom lane we're seeing items being delivered by Pudge. Actually, no items being delivered by Pudge. And Acid cannot TP in. He tried to TP away from the kill attempt. Hook off the mark from Flash Canoe. So this is going to be the interesting lane, given that there's no Skywrath quite yet. Marshall will get his level 2 quite soon. Which, of course, is important in this lane. Jingu activated. Marshall has a 2-man Boundless Strike. Pretty fantastic Boundless Strike right there. The Jingus once again are gone, but mission accomplished right there. Big range hit blasted as well. Fatsloth. Another missed hook from Flash Canoe. A little bit unfortunate. In the middle lane, it is a Puck versus Dragon Knight matchup. Sounds pretty boring. I would not expect either mid laner to die. I would expect probably Dragon Knight to be a little bit ahead in CS, but once again, it should be a relatively even lane. Bottom lane again, Flash Canoe is where we want to watch. It's this Monkey off lane, it's this Pudge support safe lane. However, there's a kill attempt on Bulljack's top lane. He'll dispose away Clues, but in comes the hammer. Special hammer into the Starbreaker. Bulljax is stunned, and Bulljax will stick, but will still die after the rebound. Microfry grabbing that kill. And again, bottom lane, Flash Canoe a little bit off on the hooks. Flash Canoe is known for being good at the Pudge support, but tonight, he has been off the mark on his hooks. A rare occurrence. You know, actually, I'm going to keep my, I'm keeping Pudge right here, so that way I know when to look bottom lane when he hooks in. I think it's a good chance. Bottom lane is where the fun's going to happen. But instead, top lane, Wind Run away from Microfry. It's a one-man stun from Clueless. Fume with Scoochie away back to bottom lane. Flesh is being run at by Marshall. Back to top. Oh, bottom lane. Hook was missed again. A rare miss by. Again, these misses are getting a little bit less rare as time goes on. But the dive bottom lane from Flat Sloth will result in no kill. He will spin away from that arcane bolt damage. So lots of trades in the bottom lane. Nobody dies. Everybody but the Skywrath gets quite low, but nobody will die. Acid Rain is still hunting. Wants to go for kills. Has vision. Concussive shot. Will hit. It'll be 2 reckless to kill, I believe. 1 hits. She needs a few more than that. And there actually will not be a kill on Flesh New until right now. There's your kill. All the way under that tier 2 tower. So it is Pudge dead. Back to the cores, we are seeing Marshall under that tower. Fastloth is last hitting. Nice and fine. CSing valiantly. The dive continues. Jug has spin if he needs it, but does not want to use it. He's just now buying a stick, which could be a bit late. I would like to see a stick a little bit earlier from Fat Sloth, but what can you do? Middle lane, we're seeing currently Puck slightly ahead in CS, and that gap is going to grow as Polo gets more jungle creeps. They are low-value last hits, but they are last hits nonetheless. Over the top lane, Chikuchi and pops the raindrop of Clueless, but still, the kill goes to Fume. Microfry wants vengeance, has Shackle Shot up in 1, looks for a kill on Boldex, rebounds into Dispose on the win runner. Shackle into 2 more hits will do it, and he will get the kill on Boldex, but he will feed his life to Fume, so Weaver, big winner in that team fight. As the carry gets 2 kills, one of them being solo XP, so if you're Fume, you're one very happy Weaver right now. Camel Farmer contests Polo at the neutral creeps, but Polo will still get the most important of the small camp creeps. He is orbing. Could have potentially orbed through to the Jaunt, but once again, killing Dragonite is just not happening, so should not expect that anytime soon. Puck gets stunned. The Puck will be absolutely fine. Actually has no phase shift skilled. Went for a 3-2-0 skill build. Top lane, Clueless is forced to hammer away, it appears. Balljax applied the sidekick for a little bit more man fight potential, but for now it is farming going on. Microfry places Sentry Ward in the lane. A bit of an odd ward from Balljax, putting it here, knowing in this lane the Radiant are likely to put a Sentry Ward in this sort of vicinity, so consider it a possible mistake with the ward. Over the bottom lane, Fastsloth will stick. He's attempting to survive as Marshall goes at him. Flesh Canoe slows with the rot. Marshall will tree dance. Fastsloth has the healing ward and a healing salve, so no death there on the Jug, and Monkey can be forced to run away now. Over to middle lane again, it is the Skywrath Mage looking to hurt Polo's game. Silence is not skilled on the Skywrath Mage. Over to top lane, there's a Dispose on Microfry, but Clueless is still dies, and Power Shot finishes the job. Down goes to Carry Weaver. Big kill there in the top lane. Ass TP's in for vengeance, but Clueless will TP away in time. Balljax could not rebound in the Dispose. There was no Dispose. It was on cooldown, so good plays in the top lane for Toilet Jork. We're at the point now where we are beginning to see the lanes break down. The laning phase has more or less ended at this point. Middle lane again. Polo has not skilled the phase shift. We likely will see it at level 8, but it certainly will be nice to have to simply even dodge these right clicks from that Dragon Knights. Especially with that dragon form. Obviously, Dragon Tail is nice to dodge, but it's a little bit harder to dodge than a right click from ranged. Even the Breathe Fire as well. But Polo was prioritizing nuking out these waves, getting these neutral camps, and having that 4-2-0 skill build will certainly do that. Again, top lane, we are farming. That is what we are doing on this fine evening. A lot of farming in the top lane. Bottom lane, Fletchnew had a hook on Acid Rain, but again, Acid Rain might just be too fast. Fastloff has the Omni Slash. He's looking in the tree. Acid Rain is juking. And Acid Rain will out-juke Fat Sloth and Fletchnew. Even get the ward down for his troubles. Over to the middle lane. Rotation from Micro Fry into the Shackle Shot, but even with the help of a hasted Polo 5885, Dragon Knight will not go down. Instead, he stuns the puck into the silencing Skywrath Mage, but he's healed by Clueless. They now turn the kill. Farmer power shot in on Bulljax. Polo jumps in. Aspirine dead. Bulljax dead. Coil as well onto the Dragon Knight. 2 kills already. Look for a 3rd kill, but Campbell stands his ground. Marshall TP's in, looking to fight. And at that point, the fight will be over. Dire lose both supports, but keep all of their cores alive. That is how the fight started. It was an attempt on the life of Camel Farmer. So in that sense, mission accomplished, but it was costly. Both supports have respawned into the fray. They smoke up from this Dire side fountain. Through the Dire side Tri-Camp. Looking at the Dire vision, they see very little, but they have some idea Fat Sloth is in the bottom lane. Hook from Pudge off the mark. Jingu activated. The target will be split. Concussive shot on Pudge, silence on Jug. Jug is still half HP, has spin and Omni Slash. Jug will survive. Dire move to Pudge. Pudge, half HP. 2-man shackle from Micro Fry, but Fletchnew still goes down. Micro Fry looks to fight, but Dire simply have too much more HP, it appears. So as a result, it will be 1 death on Pudge. The fighting appears to continue. Dire have rotated in Skywrath Mage and Marcy to the Bounty Rune area. Bulljax will take it, but it will cost the life of the Skywrath Mage. Acid Rain the casualty there. Big Rune. Double damage rune for Bulljax. Denies it again from Polo. Polo won the Bounty Rune. Was not given to him. Won double damage rune. Was not given to him. Dire denied both. Instead, bottom lane, Fat Sloth actually finds an Omni Slash kill on Marshall. Ended up being a double kill thanks to the kill earlier on the Skywrath Mage. So Fat Sloth certainly happy with that pair of kills. He is number 2 in net worth right now thanks to them, only behind the Dragon Knight who won the middle lane. We are going to see top lane, Fume, Shikuchi in, but Radiant have a lot of heroes nearby. Orb in by Polo, Coil. Immediately snapped by Fume. But it's Dawnbreaker. Solar Guardianing, the stun of Marshall. Fume remains alive. Orb through. Is it on point? No. Fume survives. And now Dire. Look towards multiple angles. Member on the Marcy. Marshall dives for the kill on Clueless. Clueless survives. Back to Marcy. She's silenced by Puck. Puck finishes the kill. It ends up being only 1 death in the top lane somehow. Being a death on Bulljax's Marcy. Bulljax's Marcy, I suppose. Radiant's still on the play. I believe they know Monkey King is nearby somewhere. But they don't know exactly where he is. They know he's in the tree somewhere. There's a lot of trees here, so that's easy. Orb through for vision, but at this point, Marshall has left. He is on the north side with Bulljax. There are 2 on the defense. Siege unit still hits. Acid Rain TP's in. They want to get Polo. Polo will orb a jaunt away. Marshall scared him off hook. Hits Skywrath Mage. Dismember on top, but it's canceled into the silence from Skywrath Mage. Coil will be there. I think all 3 targets. Now Flesh Canoe remains alive. Now dies to Acid Rain, but Dire actually do not die on anybody. They stand their ground. But despite Radiant having 4, Dire only having 3, it is Dire who win the kill on support Pudge. And Dire are pinging out the Windrunner Micro Fry. Camel Palmer has a Blink Dagger on the Dragon Knight. He's almost in Blink range now. Blink on Clueless, perhaps, will be the play. Blink Dragon Tail into the Dispose. Hook will be short. It actually probably wouldn't have saved him anyways, but regardless, Clueless will fall. Dismember on Bojack into the Omni Slash from Fat Sloth. Now 1-for-1 trade. Radiant certainly want more kills. Camel is on the run. Hook again, a bit off to the right side. Dragon Tail on Jug. Jug has spin again. Marshall arrives in with the spin, will block the damage. Over to Polo. He's running down Acid back to Marshall. Marshall will die in the top lane. They're running at the Jug. They're running with Jug at the Dragon Knight. Hook from long range. This time will hit. Radiant again will dive. Dragon Knight is incredibly tanky, but he's incredibly low. Radiant want this kill desperately, but they cannot find it. Healing Word will fall as well. So Dragon Knight simply too tanky with the 4 points in that passive. Polo now arrives after killing the Scarlet Mage in the river. Shackle. It's perfect. Into a hook. Away from the tower. Silence and Polo. Solar Guardian to kill. They now run at the Marcy, who too will fall. 1 kill to Windrunner. 1 kill to Dawnbreaker. In a teamfight win for Toilet Jork.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's top tower has fallen. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
During all of this time, we have been seeing a certain bug farming. His name is Fume. But as all of that happens, Clueless and Flesh can find a kill on the monkey who was hunting in middle lane. Further into the jungle, Aspirin gets run at as well. He attempts to Mystic Flare down the puck, but that will not be successful. 2 kills for Clueless on the Dawnbreaker. Now Radiant have regained some control over their jungle. Fume remains farming on the eastern side. There is no tier 1 to TP into, so it's like sort of eastern area from this part over is property of Fume's Weaver. But Radiant, for their part, are playing top lane as well. Jug, content to play here, these camps, over to Tri-Camp. A lot of room for Jug to be right now. He's very happy with the way he's farming. But Dire are picking this area out. They're drawing circles. They know Jug's in there. They actually might see him at this camp a little bit here now. They smoke up. Dragon Knight leading the way, has Blink in 3. Fat Sloth has been caught, but can they kill him? Yes, absolutely they will. Jug gets annihilated. Radiant smoked up on 3, but they're elsewhere on that. They want to kill Fume, but Fume, unlike Fat Sloth, will not perish to his gank. He will get away. He will retreat to the confines of his Tri-Camp. And there we go. A great escape for Fume. We are seeing, what? So apparently there were some ironwood branches in the, in the top lane that died. Marshall denied them. That's pretty hilarious. Had to sneeze right there, but luckily the sneezing is finished, it appears. Hopefully. Spent a good bit of time outside today, so apparently the sinus system is suffering, but what can you do? Top lane, Marshall is in the trees. Radiant appear to not know he's there. Both teams are collapsing on this area. Jug the main target. Jug will perish. Now, Windrunner swift away, but Clueless in the middle of the action. He'll stun on 3. Balljacks will tick down that Celestial Hammer, it appears, or maybe even not. Dire sitting there, ground. Clueless dead, but Marshall's dead first. Clueless actually remains alive. Now, hooking on Camel. Camel's incredibly low. Coil on 3. Camel down. Again, there's still 2 more in the coil. Apollo has to run away. He's low on HP. He's low on spells. He will Winning Rift and Orb and jaunt away. But overall, a relatively even fight. Dire lose 2 cores, but in exchange, they kill the Jug in a 3-for-3 trade. Had to sneeze again there, but that seems to be what's happening tonight is a little bit of sneezing. Looking over at key items being purchased, one, of course, we have to look at is the Weaver BKB. You see, often when Fume plays the Weaver, he often prioritizes going for a first item Gleipnir, simply in order to get more kill potential. This game, he goes for the BKB first. He understands that Radiant have a ton of stuff that are blocked by BKB, you know? All Puck's damage at this point in the game. Most of Dawnbreaker's damage, most of Windrunner's damage. There's a lot of very cool stuff to block. As a result, Fume's finished his BKB. He'll buy the Gleipnir after the BKB this game. Dragon Knights. Surprisingly, Camel's farm is really slowed down. He was #1 in net worth not too long ago, but at this point, he has not really been farming. He's been running around a lot, so as a result, he's not been farming. All good TP away by Clueless, barely dodging the gank. They now see Puck remains alive. Fume will dive. Down strike hits on one. Puck the target. Puck is low. Puck now will tick down. Clueless arrives, but it's Flesh Canoe. Very low. Omni Slash in. Needs to do a ton of damage. One dead, but Clueless now down to 2v4. That thoughtful spin. Shackle on one. Camel down. Fast level against on the run. 3 seconds of Jingu. He's being rounded by both cores. Orchid, and there's the kill. Triple for Fume on the Weaver. In Micro Fry, the lone survivor is going to hide in the trees, knowing his entirety of his team is dead. He'll attempt to kill the creeps, and he will succeed in that venture. But alas, there's another wave coming in. Good shackle attempt by Micro Fry, a little bit off the mark, and Fume will not die. I don't think he dies anyways, regardless, but with the missed shackle, he certainly does not die. Looking at the fight recap, obviously Dire, the big winners. Jug rotates in, looking to salvage the fight, but instead, he falls. Everybody on the core side in the Radiant falls. Dire only loses one core, the Dragon Knights. What is that 4-for-2 trade? It's a big XP change. The net worth change, nice. I think the XP change even bigger, because we're seeing some big levels being obtained. Fume's close to his 18, Mark close to his 15 talent. Hook. Off the mark by Flash Canoe. Shackle again, off the mark as well. So Fume, he's like Neo in the Matrix. He's dodging everything right now. He is absolutely fine. Both teams have warded in the same area. Balljax looks for the D ward, but it will cost him his life, it appears. The Witchblade from Polo finishing the job. Marshall gets hooked away. Goes hooked by Flash Canoe, but now the temper is cancelled by the Dire. Coil is there to Radiant attempt the fight. Battle again arrives, but has no Omni Slash, has no Shard, but it appears not to matter. Clueless arrives in. Marshall is dead. Camel is low. He'll stun the Dawnbreaker, but Radiant again will pursue. They're running a DK blink. Oh, a blink away! They did not cancel the blink of the Dragon Knight, and now it's Weaver attempting to get away. Has Shikuchi into hook in, but a BKB from Fume. And with the BKB, he will happily get away. Dust will spot him, but again, the damage appears to be lacking. But no, the damage is enough, actually! Fume is simply dead. Holdex as well. Radiant are standing around as 5. Hook it on Acerine to fall. 4 deaths on the Dire side. It was only a fantastic and fortuitous blink from the DK away from being a full 5-man wipe. Play the Jork with colossal teamfight win. It cost him a buyback on Pudge, but a buyback well used by Flesh Canoe. Surprisingly, Radiant actually do not attempt Roshan. Thought they could go for the Roshan after winning the team fight, but they say, you know what? We're a little bit too weak right now. We could lose a fight in the Roshan pits. So we're going to opt away from it. What can you do? We are back to our regularly scheduled agriculture. It is farming time. If you're a fan of farming, then you are in the right place. But top lane, Our peaceful and happy farming might be broken. Radiant rotating, but Marshall gets away in time with the tree dance. Good reaction time from Marshall. As a result, he's fine. Flesh Canoe's still hunting, has hook, has a ward even, but Dire appeared to know something's up. Bulljax blinks away with the blink on Marcy. So again, it's a good time to escape.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Radiant again are hunting for kills. They're running towards Marshall, but Dire smoke over as two. Bulljax and Camel. The smoke will get popped. Jug the target, but a good reaction from Fat Sloth, and now it's Dire attempting to fight around their Monkey King, but they're on the run. Acid is dead. Marshall will Wupungs with a tree on the inside. Flesh Canoe is dead, but Radiant can't kill Marshall. Marshall's still standing his ground. Camel's being run up by the remainder of the Radiant, but Camel remains alive at 1/4 HP. Rift in, orb down, Camel dead. And that will be a 2-for-1. Marshall did his best to stand his ground, but it did not matter. The remainder of the Radiant ran at the other, much more soft targets. As all of that happens, Fume was in the bottom lane,
Tower is under attack.
doing farming things. We saw some minor sieging of the bottom tier 2 tower, but it's the middle tier 1 tower that falls. Radiant claimed that one. Nice and happily. And that is a nice tower to get, with both this tower and, of course, that
Dire's middle
that top lane T1 being dead. It's a lot easier to fight Dire towards the Roshan pits. The one problem is, of course, that Dire side outpost. If Radiant can get a tier 2, then it will be, especially if you can get this top tier 2, it will be a lot easier to control this area of the map, get Roshan more easily. Of course, if Radiant are looking at Roshan, Dire will be up here in this pesky little high ground, looking to jump on and ruin the day of the Radiant, so perhaps that will be the next big play for the side of Toilet Jork. Work towards this jungle area, head to the east, grab this tower, grab this outpost, and control this Dire side jungle. It will mean that when they make this move, they will lose some farming space at the Tri-Camp on the Dire side, and of course the Radiant side jungle. But as it currently appears, it's actually Dire who are going for the tier 2 play. They want this tier 2 bottom lane. They're smoking around it. Fume will show himself. Dire wraparound gank ward is dropped on the floor. Seeing clueless Acid has blink, silence, and mystic flare. Camel's blink as well. They don't lose in the trees. Blink, second tail. Oh my, the mystic flare damage far too much. That will be a death on clueless. As all of that happens, Radiant recognize my offlaner is dead. My T2 has crumbled. We can perhaps grab Roshan. Dire will TP and the illusion will not spot him. Dire are smoked actually. Jug in the pit. He's getting bashed. In comes Bulljax, blinking him. He's way too early. Spin on top. Bulljax dead. But in comes Fume. In comes Camel. In comes Marshall. Luke on the floor. Fast off is forced to run away. And now Toil on 2. Omnisash on Fume. Time lapse. Yes, it's there in time. Fume remains alive. Roshan low. Fume gets the Aegis. Huge Aegis grab by Fume. The Pudge will perish, but Fume has returned to the team fight. Marshall dead. Fatsloth low. Fatsloth dead. Microfry on the run as Puck will use himself to dodge Mystic Flare damage. Polo will orb, will jaunt, but cannot escape from the grasp of Camel Farmer. Fume will right-click the Puck down. And that will be a crucial string of events in favor of the side of Nebula.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower has fallen.
We're talking T2 kill. Roshan. They actually got the Roshan last hit, too. So they even got the gold from the Roshan dying, plus the... I mean, if Fume does not get that Aegis, that fight likely looks a lot different. But Dota is a game of inches. The little things sometimes. Fume simply in the right place at the right time to outclick and outmaneuver his Radiant side counterparts. And there's a reason why That man is a two-time Lads champion. He's cold as ice in the clutch. That's for damn sure. Dire will return to the Radiant side jungle to claim the unclaimed outpost. Which means, again, they have some pretty good control over this Radiant side jungle. Radiant have the one ward popping its head in, but Dire have two wards as well at the exterior edge of this Radiant side jungle. So Radiant jungle is now certainly property of the Dire. And Radiant simply do not control this Dire side jungle in the way the Radiant control the Radiant side, or the Dire control the Radiant side jungle. Which means one should expect this Dire team, Nebula, to outfarm in the next few minutes. Radiant may look for team fights. They have a smoke on Pudge. Perhaps it will be smoke time into perhaps a play on the back of a puck coil, where you head on up, you smoke on up, you find big kills. And that could be what you need to grab an objective to re-grab some map control, but it seems like we're doing a little bit of map splitting. Bulljax is showing, but the remainder of Dire are not. And they don't... Okay, now the Dragon Knight has shown, but again, neither of those great targets for the Radiant. Dragon Knight, very tanky. Marcy, relatively low-value kill. They want to ideally go on a hero like Monkey King. Because once again, Monkey King, if he can set up in the team fights, get the Wukongs off, is a big threat. If you can catch him in the trees, if you can catch him before he's unloaded his full arsenal, he's a lot lower value in these team fights. Ideally, they can kill Fume. That is the best kill they can get. But killing Fume at this point is simply not that realistic. Fume is a BKB. He has Satanic. He has Time-Lapse. You would need to fully stun him from 100 to 0. Because otherwise, he's simply going to BKB against Time-Lapse. And I'm not sure if they can kill him before it could do that. I mean, they have the Blink Starbreaker. That's some stun, but not that much stun. 1.4 seconds. They would need either a Shackle or Dismember on top of that. Which, once again, certainly doable, but difficult. Radiant Smoke as 3, they're hunting 4 kills. The mid T2, however, is already dead. So Radiant have failed to defend their mid T2 tower. They now leave their base. They saw the Weaver, but Weaver was isolated from the main stunning heroes. So Fume will Shikuchi away. Gale Force will attempt to kill on Bulljax with the TP being cancelled. It will be successful. That thought has double damage, and the problem is Roshan's dead for a very, very long time. At least 3.5 more minutes, so there will be no lucky Roshan to be killed. We are seeing running into the top lane area. This T2 top went down quite recently, actually, which means Radiant can grab the outpost. They will now assert control over the eastern side of the Dire side jungle, which is, of course, quite nice. It means you could have the main part of your team, put the vanguard of your forces in this Dire side jungle and have, say, Clueless pushing the dead lane. Unless they can burst down Clueless before working at his BKB off, it's a relatively safe play for the Dawnbreaker. And it seems like that's where Clueless is heading. He's going to play in the bottom lane, as the remainder of the team either runs around and farms on the northern end of the map. And again, I simply do not see Clueless going down. However, big Shackle on Fume, but from long range finishes the kill on Fume! Now that is a massive combination from the Jug, the Windrunner, and the Pudge for a very crucial Fume on kill on Fume. But you do not expect that kill. Fume, he's itemized to not die. In general, he has not been dying this game, but a rare lapse in judgment by the Weaver player himself, Fume, will mean that he falls. He actually has no buyback either, but Radiant, of course, do not know that. They do not know he is short of gold for the buyback. But it does mean that Vasiloff can grab the middle T2 tower. Dire are not even in the neighborhood to defend it. Bulljax, the one man nearby, and was forced to blink away from the Gale Force. That's all that happened. Speaking of the Dire team, they find Clueless in the Radiant side jungle. Dragon Tail into the Mystic Flare, Ancient Seal on top. It's too much damage, but as that happens, Radiant are poking their heads high ground. They want to force out a buyback from Fume. That Sloth has used his spin. Dispose on Pudge, brings them to the wrong place, the dire side high ground. The remainder of the Radiant will leave their Pudge to die. They will back on off, having claimed a middle tier 2 and a decent bit of damage on that middle tier 3. Dire again are going to be alive on 5, so they can smoke up in the middle lane if they want to. Dawnbreaker and Pudge are not ready to tango. They are currently deceased. Which means that, actually, Dire recognized it's time to go. But it is only an attempt as 3. It's Camel Farmer, Bulljax, and Marshall. They have a Bloodthorn on the MK, they have the Blink Stun on the DK, and they have Bulljax with his Dispose. That should be enough lockdown, but is there enough damage is the question. They rendezvous with the damage, being the Weaver and the Skywrath Mage, towards the Radiant side jungle, but once again, Radiant's jungle is not a place the Radiant want to be. This right here is a no-go zone. It's very dangerous. No outpost. Wait, they have the outpost. But still, they still want to be here. Even though they have the outpost, they really don't want to be here right now. So this is not safe territory to be in. So as a result, they are going to play elsewhere. The only man brave enough to show his face is Clueless. And again, he is killable, but he is hard to kill. He has a lot of magic resistance via the Mage Slayer. He has the BKB. So if Dire wants to kill him, it's more or less going to be from 100 to 0. And it has been done before. It's certainly tenable. But what is not is easy. Acid Rain, if my count is correct, this is 2 games in a row that Acid Rain has bought a Dagon. Last game I casted Acid Rain, I believe he bought the exact same items on a Nyx Assassin. I believe he bought Blink Aether, Shard, and a Dagon. So we're seeing again Acid Rain, you know what? You know it's a fun item to buy. I'm gonna buy a Dagon. He's just got a Dagon, why not? He's a free man living in a free country. He's bought a Dagon. We are back from our pause. Oh, good spider legs from Clueless, but they cannot kill Marshall. Marshall will be fine. If you are just joining us, welcome to game number 1 of Toilet Jork on the Radiant, taking on Misuse Pissed Eyed Sippy, aka Bing Chilling, aka Frostfire Sips, aka Nebula, on the Dire team. In the Dire side jungle, both carries are in the man fight. Fume has time-lapse, will utilize his time-lapse. Fastball is now in severe danger, but the coil on 2 might just work. Clueless will rise into the fight. Fastball is dead, but Radiant have the damage. The answer is absolutely not. Clueless will attempt the fight, but it will not work. It's only a Skywrath dead. 3 are down on the Radiant side. Blink in by Camel. Finds Micro Fry. Polo will orb and jaunt away. He will be alive for the time being. Micro Frying was finished by the remainder of the Dire. But regardless, the result is evident. It is that 2 for 4 trade. And Dire only lose supports. So as a result, they will, on this Dire side, head towards the high ground. Radiant Glyph and use 2 buybacks. They use 1 on Clueless, they use 1 on Fletch Canoe. They have 1 on Micro Fry, but they do not have 1 on Fat Sloth. He bought out for the Scotty, which means it will be a free Roshan for the Dire, barring a very bold play with the Radiant side. For the second Roshan of the game, the Aegis and the Shard will get grabbed both by Fume. Fume will grab the Shard, consume it, and grab the Aegis. So if you thought that Fume was strong before, he's just that much stronger now. He's bought a full Daedalus. He has 4,000 more gold, an Aegis, and a Shard, so he's just out of control. And Fume actually has mixed up his build. he ordinarily buys the Gleipnir. But this game decided, you know what, I don't need a Gleipnir. My team has enough lockdown with the DK, with the Marcy, with this MK. Instead, I will buy the damage. Not only a Daedalus, but also a Monkey King Bar. Specifically to ensure he can kill Micro Fry with that evasion. In case someone like Juggernaut buys a Butterfly, he'll even be ready for that as well. I think there's a, yeah, if you buy the Ags as well on the Dawnbreaker, there's an evasion to that as well, so there's a lot of good reasons to have an MKP this game if you are Fume. Not only is he dealing with the present problem of the Windrunner, but he is covering his bases, good power top for Micro Fry, but he's covering his bases for a potential either Butterfly on Jug or an Ags on the Dawnbreaker, both of which are very common. Hook on Fume, but Fume will not be killed. He will Satanic and stand his ground. Dire hit the melee barracks top. Melee is to fall. Range as well. That Sloth will go in with Trickster's Cloak. Has Omni Slash. He's hunting. Shackle on the Weaver. Weaver isolated. Bounce there on 2. That Sloth is spinning on the backlines. Looking for Scarlet. Back in on Scarlet. Scarlet is dead. Fastloff remains alive. Wukong's pump fake cancel. Dispose in, but he gets a 4-man Solar Guardian. Radiant collapse on everybody. Marshall gets whipped away. 2-man's done from Clueless. Bojack's dead. Aegis lost. Marshall dropping. Camel dropping. Dire collapsing. Dragon Knight dead. Marshall dead. Fume, the lone survivor, will Chikuchi away. It will be successful. But what a disastrous fight for the side of Nebula. They lose 4. They lose the Aegis. They do get what they came for. It was the top set of barracks, but it was a Pyrrhic victory. They lose a lot of stuff there. A Pyrrhic victory, my bad. They lose a lot of stuff there. And as a result, Radiant will run it down the middle lane. They want to go and counter barracks. They want to counter buybacks. All 4 heroes have buybacks ready to use. Marcy and Skyrath likely will not use theirs, but the cores might. Mid-Chi 3 dead. Melee racks under attack. It's crumbling rapidly. Fume will attempt to defend. Has a shard once again. And he runs a Clueless. Dispose in. Onto the Dawnbreaker. Dawnbreaker to fall. Dawnbreaker will attempt the man fight. Flash steal up, but it will not work. The Dawnbreaker. It's a dieback on the Dawnbreaker. Fastlock will spin. And it's TP away. He will succeed. So Dire used 2 buybacks. 1 on Dragon Knights. 1 on Monkey King. So both teams are down. Key buybacks. And some barracks. Not ideal for either team. But both teams still have some key buybacks. Jug and Puck have a buyback. Fume in Tudor Gold will have his buyback. So we should have buyback for this fight. Dire smoke out his 4. They know Dawnbreaker has diebacked. He cannot return to the fight. Lincoln for Polo, but he has a Lincoln Sphere on Polo. Polo will jaunt away. Great reactions from Puck, saving his life. Mid-tower is beginning to die, but not that rapidly. Dire has to back off temporarily. Fatsoff kills an Observer Ward, giving again Radiant better vision. Shackle Shot will not lash to a hero. Fatsoff the spin. Silence on 2 from Puck. Hook on Acid Rain. Acid Rain gets dismembered. Dismembered. Cancel. Mystic Flare kills Bash Canoe, and now it's Polo orbing through, trying to capitalize on his 2-man coil, but cannot do so. Radiant are down 2. Both of them have no buyback. They're both on cooldown. Vatsloth has Omni Slash. He's looking for a hunt. Dash. Omni Slash on Marshall. Marshall will BKB, but no! Monkey King has fallen. He moves to the DK. The DK has been bashed as well. Camel gets disposed away. Bojack's dead. Camel low. Jaunt in by Polo. Polo wants this kill, but he cannot finish it quite yet. He instead turns over to Fume. Fume falls on the Weaver. He dies during the Shackle Shot duration. So sure, Camel gets away. That is not a dieback on your Dragon Knight, but it is a dieback on your Monkey King, and it is a death on your Weaver. So Radiants, who have suffered key diebacks, are now going to look to run it down the middle lane. They want more buybacks. They want to capitalize on the Marshall dieback. They know what time it is. It's time to win your Dota game. And again, the graph, it's absolutely wild. Ups and downs and ups and downs. Nobody has this game in the bag. Radiant look to complete a potential win. Mid-range racks are dead. Attention moves to the bottom lane for both teams. Fatsluff and Polo on the siege. Acid has a courier on the way, looking for an item of some sorts. I believe the Hex. Now, Fatsluff will spin. Gale Force onto Bulljax. Bash. Bulljax dead. Has buyback. Uses it, as does Weaver. Dire. Move to Fatsluff. Fatsluff has no spin. Has Lombardi Slash, but he has a Clueless, keeping him alive for the time being. And again, Jugman's alive, and Fume is dead. It's a dieback on the Weaver. Clueless will Spider Legs in, critting Acid Rain. Acid Rain will survive for the time being, but for not for much longer. Polo wants the kill. Orb through Mist. Camel Farmer, Sunsman Runner, Fatsloff has the bash. DK fights in a 1v4. He will perish, and he too has no buyback. That is two core diebacks on the Dire side. Weaver, DK, both dead for more than 100 seconds. And now, Radiance, know it is time to strike when the iron is hot. T4s are being hit by multiple members of the side of Toilet Jork. Again, hunting for kills. Flesh Canoe has dismember. It's cancelled by Marshall. Marshall will Wukongs. But Radiant leave the Wukong's command. Acid Rain attempts to kill Fluids, but the Radiants move their attention again to a dieback on Marcy. Marshall again cannot keep the Radiant in his Wukong's command. In Dire, they accept the inevitable. The GG is called, and Toilet Jork will win game number 1. If you're Toilet Jork, you have to be very happy with that win. That is a win you needed. You look at the state of their season, getting a win like that, absolutely essential for the season. They were in a situation coming into the home stretch, and they needed some wins. They needed to clutch out games like this. And we've seen Toilet Jork lose games just like this in the past. But this time, not today. Toilet Jork win an absolute barn burner, where once again, either team definitely could have won that game. Nebula, in multiple spots, were in the winning position. But alas, poor Bulljax. Game lost to Toilet Jork. All I gotta say about the power of that game is look at that graph. I have my glasses off right now. I can still see how spiky the graph is, just without glasses on. It's that wild. It's a crazy game. You know, it was definitely a tiring game. I'll tell you that much. That was a tiring game. A lot of action. So they certainly made me work for it. They really made me work for it. You know what? It was good. It was good. So giving my lungs a bit of a break. A little bit. I am going to take a slight break. That is the plan. Take a slight break. That is what I am going to do. I will be back in a few minutes. Going to go to the bathroom. Going to grab some more water. Let's go put this on. Oh, that's the one right there. We have done it. We have put it on the screen, so but yeah, on yeah, I will be right back. I have a I have a need for water and a trip to the bathroom. So I will see you all in about 2, maybe 3 minutes. Hopefully we're into the first pick phase of the draft by then, but until now, I'll see you soon.
Radiant
And we are back to League of Lads' hottest drama. Un Camino, Dos Mujeres. We see Flesh Canoe and Polo 5885 fighting for the love of Fat Sloth. And to do so, to gain the love of Fat Sloth, they must deliver him a second victory in tonight's matches. On the opposing side, it's the House Wreckers,
remaining.
Missus Piss-Eyed Sippy, who've changed their name from Frostfire Simps and Bing Chilling and Nebula.
And team ban.
But it's okay. We're going to return to our action tonight on a spicy edition of League of Lads.
Radiant team pick.
This should probably be more like Dos Caminos Un Mujer, but oh well. What can you do? What can you do? I had a bit in my head that might have been funny to somebody. So somebody out there potentially could have laughed, but what can you do? What we have on our hands, though, is some Dota 2. Everyone's favorite. Dota 2. First phase bans, much of the same from last game. The only difference being Dawnbreaker is banned out instead of the Nyx. And because Dawnbreaker is banned, now Puck's banned as well, that Nyx pick loses a lot of value. But 5-pick this game will be Weaver, possibly again for Fume, but given there's an Alchemist, it also could not be for Fume. But 5-pick Weaver into 6-7 Witch Doctor Tiny, into 8-pick Alchemist. So a very early Alchemist pick by the side of Nebula. At least in my opinion, feels a little bit early. But we'll have to see if it ends up being countered out or not. It could just not be countered. That is possible.
Remaining.
Second phase bans, much of the same as last game, but a few different heroes. We're seeing Slardar banned out this time, but once again, a number of similar bans. Invoker, Ember, Furion's a new ban, I think, but Puck played last game, Coddle banned last game. The 15 pick for Toilet Jork is going to be the Death Prophet. So to an extent, they keep their draft a bit ambiguous by doing so. I'm not surprised Ancient Apparition is picked, but I am surprised by who picked it. I thought potentially Toilet Jork
10 seconds.
could be the ones to go for the Ancient Apparition pick. Instead, it's the Dire who go for it. They see, you know what? You have DP, you have Witch Doctor, there's a lot of healing going on. And I'm not a fan of you trying to heal yourself and or your teammates.
10 seconds remaining.
I am going to put a stop to that.
5 seconds remaining.
But this draft, it has a lot of interesting layers to it on this Dire side. I mean, this is an actually fascinating draft concept. I really don't know what the Dire are doing with this draft. Is it... I mean, it seems like it's probably Alchemist carry, Void Spirit 2, Weaver 4, AA 5, but if that's the plan, I don't like their lanes at all. I think laning in Lads is very important. That's a very good Wind Ranger pick. I'm a big fan. I think, given the way that Dire are laning, their lanes are not that strong. If you have Windrunner 4 into the AA support 5 lane, that's absolutely fantastic. Because you pop the Windrun into Chilling Touch, and that's really AA's one main laning tools. You apply Chilling Touch, it does damage, it does a little bit of slow. You trade during the duration, you trade, you hit back, you dip in, you dip out. But Windrunner is just one of those heroes where it's like, hey, Go fuck yourself. You ain't doing anything to me. I'm going to dodge your abilities. And with the 100% evasion, you just dodge Chilling Touch and say, oh, well then, I'm losing this support trade. But the problem is you have an Alk in your lane. And a lot of times when you play 5 support with an Alk as your carry, you trade as much as possible, even if it's disfavorably, in order to buy space for Alk to farm. But if you're trading that poorly, then the Windrunner is going to begin to hit your Alk. And often you want to stack as low on 5. This time there's no way you can stack, because the Alk's going to be left there alone to die. So I'm not a fan of the Dyer's lanes at all, actually. So I prefer, again, I'm a big fan of the way that Flesh Canoe has been drafting tonight. I like their draft game 1, and again, he's bringing it back for a fantastic game 2 draft. I think Flesh Canoe, he has a very interesting drafting style, but tonight, on this fine evening, the 14th of July, 2022, Flesh Canoe's drafting is absolutely on point.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Big fan. Need some more water. It's good water. But I have drank some more water. I have my massive water bottle at my side. Hopefully should last me through game number 2. Skywrath Enigma, Bloodseeker Razor will be our last phase of bans. We are headed into the penultimate pick of the draft. At 23 pick for Missy's Piss-Eyed Sippy.
5 seconds remaining.
I have no clue what they plan on picking. I don't even know what role they're picking. I think it's going to be an offlaner, but I have got no idea.
Team pick.
That doesn't answer my question. That really doesn't. I think that's their offlaner, but that really doesn't answer my question at all, actually. It would make the most sense to see Alchemist carry, Void Spirit mid, Pango 3, Weaver 4, AA 5,
10
but...
seconds remaining.
Eh,
5
not a
seconds
fan.
remaining.
Not a fan. I'm usually a fan. Like, usually I am a fan of the drafts of Bulljacks. Not today. Not tonight on this fine evening. Not a fan of this draft. I think it relies on a lot going well in the laning phase and in the early game. And I think just given the team that Toilet Jork has, especially throwing a jug on top again for Fat Sloth. Ugh, this is gonna be hard. I'm assuming DP3, Tiny 2, Windrunner 4. But I would be fine with DP mid, Tiny 3. I do not want to see Windrunner mid this game. I think you have to put the Windrunner 4. That's not a Windrunner 4, but it actually... Wait, yeah, it is. Never mind. These are 4. So I think it's the right decision. Put the Windrunner 4. I think I prefer DP3. Yeah, there we go. We're going to have DP3, Tiny 2.
10 seconds
I think
remaining.
the other way around would have worked, but I prefer DP3, Tiny 2.
5 seconds
Even though
remaining.
Tiny potentially has a higher kill chance in the lane into the Alk, I think DP's in general laning phase is stronger. And you can just have Tiny to rotate the 6-minute rune anyways, so... I think the way it's going to work macro-wise is fantastic. You have Clueless and Microfry man up in the lane, minute 6, get a rune, haste rune, DD rune, invis rune, whatever you want on Tiny. Rotate in, ruin Fume's game. And I think Fume could have a very, very bad game here. I think on the Alk, he has not been put in a position to succeed. The 4 heroes they picked, either 3 of them directly or do pretty well into the Alk, and the other one does very well into his 5 support. So I think his lane could go very badly. We will have to find out, of course, once stuff happens. I think I'm going to give the edge to Toilet Jork again. I like their draft last game. I said it already. But again, I'm going to prefer them to take the 2-0 upset And that would be a big upset. Once again, Toilet Jork, they were 6 games under 500. And Nebula were 6 games over 500. So, you look at the situation, it's like, wow, you go from being 6 over, being 6 under, and it's like, whoa, wait a minute, this isn't what we expected. You're a 12-game delta over the other team. You should expect to at least get a 1-1, but we will have to see what happens here with this game number 2. If you are just joining us, welcome to game number 2 of Misu's Piss-Eyed Sippy, aka Frostfire Simps, aka Bing Chiling, aka Nebula, who lost game number 1, taking on Toilet Jork. Toilet Jork certainly want to complete their 2-0, make sure they're in a good spot to make playoffs. Playoffs is not yet a guarantee for them, so getting a 2-0 tonight would certainly help their odds. Put them in a situation where they control their own destiny for sure.
30 seconds to battle.
On the flip side, if you want that top 4 seed in your Nebula, you have to win. You have to start winning some big games like this one right now. So this is it's a consequential series, consequential game 2 even for both teams. In the river, Nebula are as 5. They want first blood, and it seems like we're going to see it right away. Clueless. Or Clueless. You are going to die. First blood actually goes to Marshall. Not terrible, but not ideal. I would want that either on your Voice Spirit or on your Alchemist, but I guess Marshall's your 3rd best option. We did see Alk skill Concoction level 1 to do this, but it's not that unusual. We have been seeing more and more Alchemists go for level 1 Concoction. Historically, you used to often see Acid Spray or the Grievel's Greed, but nowadays we are seeing a lot of level 1 Concoction. Top lane, Clueless, again the target. We know he TP'd in, but this time he will not fall. He's taking a lot of damage, but he has not died, which means that he can heal up under this tower. Allow Micro Fry to get a little bit of levels until he's a bit healed up on the DP. Acid Rain will not be able to get another kill, though he actually... Okay, he did not get a courier. He's simply being annoying. Radiant know he's there. I know he's somewhere in this little square-shaped symbol. But alas, what are they going to do with the Weaver? Bottom lane, knowing Acid Rain is not there, Marshall gets gone on by the Jug Witch Doctor combination, and unsurprisingly, it is a kill on Marshall. Back to top lane, it's a counter kill on Micro Fry. Again, Concoction utilized by Fume as the entry pass into the slam dunk from the Acid Rain and Boljack's right clicks. Lot of damage there via the double range supports, and now Acid Rain will leave for the bottom lane. I think he actually gave away on the DP. There's a ward here, so perhaps Boljax will deward that in the near future, knowing, hey, I think this would not be in vision ordinarily, I don't think. I think he had to have vision to hit him there, but could be wrong. Bottom lane again. Acid has arrived. Marshall takes some damage, but does not die. Instead, his Flesh can taking a lot of damage as well. Actually, so is Acid Rain. Both supports are incredibly low. Shikuchi up in 2. Is there a kill for Flesh Canoe? Ooh, no, there's not. Again, both supports so low. Neither die. Close trade for both of them, but it seems like instead Acid with no HP is going to snipe a courier, perhaps. Now this Sentry Wards, if Weaver gets this courier, that's a big courier to kill. He lost his cast. Now Weaver's going to die here. The courier gets off all the little things in Dota. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Dota truly is a game of inches. If Flesh Canoe, instead of being right here, was over here instead, the courier paths here, the ward sees it, Acid Rain kills it. There are no sentries in this lane. Instead, Flesh Canoe has 2 of them. He actually didn't kill this sentry ward, which means that eventually the Weaver will unblock the block. But bottom lane, again, Marshall will kick down the spin of Fat Sloth. So one more kill. A third kill in this bot lane for Flesh Canoe and Fat Sloth. Back to our friend the Sentry Ward that gets mercilessly pummeled by the Weaver, but despite the Sentry play, it's still a good lane right now, of course, for the side of the Radiance. Game 1 winner was Radiance. Spoiled it, Jork, but we have not looked at middle lane too far. So far in this game, it is, as it currently stands, a relatively even laning phase. Both the Tiny and the Void Spirit are very even on CS. Bottom lane, Acid Rain will kill Fat Sloth. The Swarm, a bit too much for the Jug to handle. It's a little bit too much minus armor. And now, Tips go the opposite direction, I suppose. The Tips have returned. Middle lane, Flesh Canoe attempts to deny the Water Rune at minute 4, but Camel Farmer will still get it. Acid Rain TP's in. Flesh Canoe will die, inevitably. The Resonant Pulse from Camel Farmer finishing the job. Back to the top lane, we have not looked at it too much, and surprisingly, actually, I guess it shouldn't be too surprising, mostly because Acid Rain committed so much of his time in the first 2 to 3 waves. But because Acid Rain committed so much time in the first 3 waves to securing his Alchemist lane, Alchemist is having a pretty fantastic laning phase. He's 21-6, which is much better than it could be. That's for damn sure. Now, that's the way that Dai recognized we need our Alch's lane to go well. These trades are not favorable for us, so we need to secure the lane, and it is mission accomplished. Hume's game will not be terminally lost at minute 4. It continues for the time being. Polo's Avalanche. Okay, never mind. So Camel Farmer will get his 6 before Polo goes in again, which does matter this game. Void Spirit certainly at somewhat of a risk to die to the Tiny combo, but this time will not happen. Instead, the death is in the bottom lane, where Fat Sloth will spin down Marshall, but Acid Rain will look for a counter kill. He'll dive with Shikuchi, but that will cost him his life. Maldic will finish the job. And the XP does go to Fat Sloth, so it's certainly good for the side of the Radiance. Given they got a kill on their carry, and they have the XP for the second kill on their carry as well, so once again, Fat Sloth, the big winner in the bottom lane, as he has been for the lion's share of this laning phase. Let's see here. Double damage rune on the Tiny. Camel Farmer will step in to bother Polo, but Polo will walk away. Weaver rotates in, but it's a little bit too late at this point. We're seeing a lot of pings in the top lane area, but nothing too crazy happening right now. Bottom lane, we may see one more kill attempt on Fat Sloth. They know the Pangolier is alone, but he's juking in the trees. Marshall has Swashbuckle and Shield Crash in 4. Flesh Canoe will find him. Maledict, the lead. Cask, not used yet. Swashbuckle puts him away from the Cask bounce. Problem is, oh, over the trees? Wait a minute. Spin is not, it's barely not hitting. Oh no, Marshall. Very clutch Shield Crash over the trees. Absolutely saved his life. Maybe I think they know he didn't have a TP either, so they know he's in there still. Scan was utilized, but again, he's just so far to the south right now. He's in a nice, cozy spot. He's good. The fighting continues bottom lane. Maldic again on Marshall. But again, Marshall is going to be fine. Acid Rain arrives in, drops a swarm, and walks away, but Marshall will not tick down to that level 2 Maledict. Middle lane saw a wraparound gank by Micro Fry, but the Void Spirit will survive, will not die to that Windrunner gank. In the river, Tiny gets gone on by Void Spirit and the Weaver, but Polo gets a haste and a double damage rune and just kills the Void Spirit. Wait a minute. Polo mans up, stands to the ground, and will bring down a big solo kill on the opposing middle laner. And actually, Acerain's in danger as well. He's dead. 2 kills for Polo. Big plays there, and I guess when you're a tiny with a DD rune and a haste rune, you are simply far too strong to stop, and Radiant will capitalize on the 2 kills found. They will lead the building push to the middle lane, Exo activated, and that will be the main target, this middle T1 tower. TPs are on the way. Polo's actually in a bit of danger. Remnant into Cold Feet will mean a death on Void Spirit and Dire. Don't just want 1 kill, they want 1 more kill. Problem is, the remainder of the Radiant have scattered away. Dire split their attention, and it will only be a kill on Polo. But not only is it a kill on Polo, it also means their middle T1 remains alive, which is good for them. We are seeing Fume. He is being bothered by Micro Fry and Dire are on the way to help out their carry. Concoction in, it will stun. Nobody! A fantastic shackle from Micro Fry! The roll arrives from Marshall. Coolest will siphon Acid Rain and will remain alive. From long range, Ice Blast will hit on the DP and DP will shatter. But Radiant now TP in more. Flash Canoe has arrived. Pulls on the rotation. Marshall will almost certainly die. Acid Rain gets now addicted, but he's not taking damage. And Marshall actually jukes out the Radiance. Micro Fry low, Acid Rain low, Acid Rain dies. Micro Fry will be betrayed as appears to the earn damage. No, he survives again. Oh, no, he barely takes down, actually. But the death ward from Flash Canoe will finish off Bulljax. Overall, there, it is a 2-for-2 trade in that top lane area. Not a terrible trade for either team, but notably, they did remove attention from Fume, who is now free farming in this Dire side jungle. Problem is, you know who's also free farming? Cat Sloth. He's having a good time right now in this bottom lane area. He's applying a lot of pressure in this lane. I'm not sure what died in his courier. Might have been the Mithril Hammer, potentially. And that'd be bad if it was. Top T1 is under attack, but so is Fat Sloth. Acid Rain wants to bother the Jug's farm. And yeah, it actually was the Mithril Hammer, which is not ideal, of course, for the Jug. It's an item he very much wants, but he will not have it. Isn't that? We are ready to see the top T1 go down to the Radiant side now. We see a 3-man maneuver into the Dire side jungle. DP and Windrunner both smoked up. Looking at Radiant Vision, they've seen a few mid lane. They have a scan in the Dire side Tricamp, and as a result, Coolest will Exo mid lane. Looking for the tower. Step away by Camel Farmer. Has 1 more remaining and Illusion Rune to fight with. Again, Dire will Glyph. Having their Glyph refreshed from killing. Actually having their top T1 die. Fume will arrive to the fight with Concoction. Step in Remnant. The Remnant will miss. Coolest is still quite low. Will tick down. Camel Farmer gets the kill. Acid Rain moves to Flash Canoe. And again, that's 2 deaths on the Radiant side. Polo and Micro Fry are still there. But it's time to leave. And Micro Fry will not be able to leave. Concoction into right clicks. More than enough. 2 kills for the Alchemist in the fight. And if you are Nebula, big team fight win.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Middle lane, roll from Marshall, looking again for Polo. Flash New TP's in, but this play might just be too late. He'll cast onto, but his middle laner will still perish to Acid Rain. Maybe, actually not. He's so low on the tiny, but he's simply not dead yet. Wolverine will do it. Can they find it? Yes, they can. They can also find a kill on the Witch Doctor. There will be 2 dead on the Radiant side. Fat Sloth wants to fight. Has Omni Slash. But Dire again are staying their distance. They are ensuring that they are not going to die to that Maelstrom Omni Slash. Fat Sloth will defend the tower for the time being. Bottom lane, we are seeing Clueless attempt to push in the bottom lane. Again, multiple very low T1 towers right on the Dire side. Both mid and bottom T1 are incredibly low, but neither is perished. Camel looks for a rotation, wants the DP, will not find her. Instead, Radiant's siege has continued. The middle T1 is dead. Azerain is... he's doing some sneaky stuff right now. He's doing some real sneaky stuff right now, but he's not being found. What Azerain is doing is fascinating. I'm not sure what exactly he's doing, but he's not dying for it. His couriers are absolutely on notice right now. They know they are in danger. We're seeing couriers being microed, couriers hiding in the trees. They know Weaver is a man with couriers on the mines. In the Radiant jungle, Shackle on Balljacks, TP's in, Cask will not bounce. Toss in on the Witch Doctor into Maledict. Meaning the Balljacks is dead. A Fume wants a counter kill. Witch Doctor is low, dies to Fume. Camel steps in, killing. But at this point, Fume's already dead. Wait a minute, this is bad for the Dire side. Marshall is only half HP. Exo is damaging. Avalanche gets the kill. 3 for Clueless, and now, sure, Azerain kills Micro Fried, but this is a disastrous fight. You've lost 2 cores in the Dire, and Azerain barely Shikuchi away. Has time lapse. We'll use it to juke out Polo and Clueless, but the result is the same. What a fantastic fight if you are the side of Toilet Jork. And notice, Dire commit 5 heroes for the team fights. It's Fatsloth who's farming. And now Avalanche toss the kill on the Weaver. Step in again. But at this point, Flesh Canoe has done his job. Death Ward dropped. Camel on the run. Has to simulate in 3. He'll pig pull and walk away. He should be fine, and he will be fine. Fume responds, blink in, concoction on the Tiny, Clueless dead. Polo will attempt to stand his ground and man fight, but will die for the combination of the 4 Dire heroes nearby. Micro Fry will wind run away. Concoction on the way. Fume has blink. Will blink onto the Windrunner, and Windrunner will most certainly die. Triple kill for Fume, and the fight, it went so well for a little while for the side of Toilet Jork, but at the end of the fight, that's where it goes all Nebula. 3 kills on the back end of the fight, and that's where your Alchemist, who was a big loser of the fight, suddenly recovers with I think it was 2 kills in that team fight. Middle lane, step in, Ice Blast. On top, the roll from Marshall as well, blinking for more stun duration, but Clueless is still half HP. He'll now die. Radiant are on the way with an Omni Slash perhaps, but it's Azerain distracting the supports on the back line, so Shikuchi away, and Azerain might just be fine. Wait, Power Shot does not hit Azerain. He's alive. They cannot kill this man. He truly is the elusive. They cannot lock this man down. And again, Azerain, he's scouting around, being a bother. He has no HP, but it does not matter. He's scouting out the Jug. Dire are nearby, but Jug has spin. Therefore, Jug will be fine. Looking over at the net worth lead. It is a 6k lead. Step in mid lane into an Ice Blast, into a kill on Flesh Canoe. But as I was saying, actually now a 7k lead, which is more... It's not as... Like, for those who are unaware of the way these Alch games work net worth-wise, it's not as bad as it looks. Because Alchemist has an artificially high amount of gold right now. It's much more like a 3k lead right now, or a 2k lead, than it is a 7k lead. Alchemist is 5.5k ahead currently of the Jug. That's from that Grievel's Greed, of course. Step in for Tiny at the edge of the jungle, and well, It will mean a death on Polo. Radiant arrived at the cast from Flesh Canoe, but Fume's a big KB. He's manning up, bringing down Witch Doctor. Clueless will Exo. But at this point, Omnisoft needs to do a lot of damage. Fume still half HP. Chemical Rage has ended. Acid Rain has fallen. And now Radiant perhaps are turning around. They need 2 more hits for the kill on Alchemist, but one more hit is not there. The disarm, the concoction, the cold feet, the kill on Fat Sloth. And now, Clueless wants to finish the kill. He's invis. Silences Void Spirit. Brings down Bodax with the Crypt Swarm. Brings down Kale Farmer with the exorcism damage. And now has to Marshall, who has no mana. Sure, they couldn't finish the kill on the most important target, but Toilet Jork get everybody else. That is actually, it is a fight win. Wait, Fume's going for the play. Blink, Concoction, Acid Spray, and well, suddenly it's a 4 for 4. You throw on that extra kill on top. So equal in terms of kills. But we are going to expect Alchemists to be ahead in net worth for forever, more or less. He could lose this game and still be 5k net worth ahead of any other hero in the game, because that's just Alchemist for you. But Fume is opting for the Assault Cuirass purchase. He's gone Radiance into Blink into BKB. Perhaps he might go for that plus damage talents at 20 to capitalize with the AC. It is physical damage on a concoction, of course, so with the Acid Spray minus armor and the AC minus armor, it's a lot of minus armor. We are back to the adventures of Acid Rain, who is just... he's playing Dota 2. I'm a little bit sad Acid's not buying Dagon this game, because if he buys Dagon, that will be 3 games in a row of Acid Rain buy. Oh god, he's so dead. But it would have been 3 games in a row of him buying Dagon. He bought it in a game on Nyx Assassin. He bought it last game on Skywrath Mage, and if he bought it on the Weaver this game, it would have been 3 games straight of the Dagon. Instead, it's going to be Vessel into Falcon Blade into the Hex. A wise decision versus the much more impulsive Dagon, but I still would like to see the Dagon. Bottom lane. Radiant want to defend their tower. And Dire just back off. They're not even going to attempt the fight, it appears. At least they at the very least want to play high ground instead. They want to have Radiant approach from the low ground and somebody's stairs. Dire's vision's not the greatest right now, so they don't know Tiny's here. Now they know Tiny's here. Looking at key items, Assault Cuirass has been finished on the Alchemist. BKB is almost done on the Death Prophets. We have Manta going into a Shard on Jug. Shard has been purchased. Void Spirit has the Aghanim Scepter, which is quite nice this game for the double Silence Resonant Pulse. Dire want Roshan. It seems like Dire will get Roshan. The minus armor is very high between the Assault Cuirass, the Acid Spray, the Swarm from the Weaver, and even the Lucky Shot from the Pangolier. It's just a lot of minus armor. And they'll parlay the Roshan kill into a Death Prophet kill. If you're wondering where the Aegis went, it went to the Alchemist, so he'll be that much harder to kill for the near future. Fastlock gets stepped in upon, will Manta and spin away. Good escape there by Flat Sloth. He gets a ward kill as well, which means that Dire will not have vision if Radiant wrap around gank from the west side. But it seems like they will play on the defensive under their tier 3 tower even, meaning this tier 2 tower is not long for life. The Alchemist and company are going to hit this tower and it's simply going to die. Alchemist is somewhat low, but again, as Chemical Rage will be absolutely fine. Concoction, but again, the spin, the dodge, and fast into 2-man fantastic cast. Fume will BKB, but at this point the damage is absolutely massive. The roll comes in, stunning Polo. Polo is dead. Actually, Radiant, despite a brilliant fight, lack the damage. Omni Slash will hit on many heroes. Marshall is low, will not die. Mantha from Fat Sloth will spin again in 1 more seconds. Tiny buys back. Radiant know it is time to strike. Bulljack's low. Bulljack dies to the tower. Camel steps away in the pause from Fat Sloth. He's probably losing some packets. 2k ping, he says. But you're playing Jug. You don't need to react to things. Oh god, we are back. Polo again has Blink in 10 shackles. Perfect on Fume. Radiance hits Alchemist, but split their attention. They save Fat Sloth perhaps. He will not tick down to the Spirit Vessel. Fume will lose the Aegis. In comes Avalanche. Toss. Siphon. Shackle. Damage. Yes. Fume down. And the biggest kill possible has been obtained. And now it's Weaver on the run. He might get Micro Fry, but he certainly will lose his life for it. It costs the buyback on Polo 5885, but a buyback well used. Toilet Jork win. An absolutely crucial team fight. That right there is what you want to see. There is nothing more you can possibly want if you are Toilet Jork. That is a lot of times what happens into these Alchemist strats. You see Alch just buy a bunch of items, get too big, too strong, too fast. But they were hoping to knock down the brick wall that was this Toilet Jork defense. But the brick wall did not break. It stood its ground. And even though, again, it's a 9k lead, the momentum is absolutely fantastic. It's more or less the equivalent to almost no net worth lead. Because look at the difference between Alchemist and Jug. It's about 8k. So it's an 8k net worth lead, and that's basically 8k from having Alchemist money. But its lead really is not as big as it might seem. Valve, with their Dota Plus AI, still believe Dire are favored. But notice, it's a major swing in net worth chance. From 83, a 5 and 6 chance, to 69, a 2 and 3 chance. Sure, they're still in a good spot, but it's going to require a good play, and perhaps it's a good play. Blink, silence, and that is the kill that Dire need. That Sloth will perish. Micro Fry will not blink away, but instead it will be Flesh Canoe actually solo killing Marshall. Wait a what? Flesh Canoe? How did you do this? That is not supposed to happen. He dies for it, but what? Flesh Canoe, let's go. What a huge solo kill.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Big objective we are going to be looking at in the near future, though. It is going to be the second Roshan of the game.
Dire's bottom
It will be at least 4 more minutes. It's only been 4 minutes since the first Roshan of the game, of course. So we have a while to wait. That will be the big objective for Nebula. It is what they are going to want to go high ground and either end the game or get a lead so large that the win is in their hands. But it is going to be a bit longer. We'll be farming for that time. Dire are, of course, going to grow their net worth lead because they have an Alchemist, but Radiant will be farming a lot as well. Rotation onto Camel Farmer. The silence from DP. Into actually the Fear with the Shard! The Shard! Fear! What a massive Shard! Camel Farmer actually got the Simulate off. He healed the Essence Ring. Thought he was dead. Instead, he is not dead. Marshall is rolling, distracting the Radiant as Dire will attempt to kill the DP. DP's incredibly low, and with the Astral Remnant will die. Now, we see Fast Sloth being zoned by Acid Rain. As Flesh Canoe dives to Fume, back to Acid Rain. Omni Slash, the Bash, kills Weaver. But it is a fight win for the side of Nebula. They get 2, including a DP core, only for the Weaver, who is, of this game, a 4 support.
Were you watching? That's how it's done. This whole mess is all your fault?
Seems like Dire will go for the bottom tier 2 as their next main objective, and well, barring this Radiant side glyph, there will be no resistance. The alchemists slowly will snack away at the foundations of the stone until the tower is now dead. We have seen Fume go for the cleave talent on Alp, which does not surprise me. I was still hoping for the concoction talent, but him going for the cleave talent isn't too surprising. It is certainly expected from Fume. Certainly would have liked that extra bit of burst damage for initiation, but what can you do? The cleave is certainly better for farming, and there's some value to the split damage cleave in these team fights, especially into the jug with mantas. Gatslaw is going to TP away. And we might see a fight in this Radiant side jungle. It's a D-Ward war going on, turning into a real war, into a very real death on Bulljacks. Poor Bulljacks. We're at the point now, though, where we're still waiting for that second Roshan. But it seems like Toilet Jork don't want to wait for it. They want to gain nap control of the team fight when knowing somebody's dead, and they smoke into Fume! The Yules. Perhaps premature. Now Fume will BKB. Abyssal. The Jug. Camel arrives. Sounds on 4 heroes. Fume. With Concoction. Oh no! A disaster! The Fear on Camel. The Shackle. The Mini-Sun is enough. And now Fume simply dies. Marshall is rolling in, stunning on 3, but your teammates are dead. Your damage is lacking. It is time to run. The Yules on Weaver. Weaver will Shikuchi, but there is no way to run. There's no way to hide. You two join your teammates in the grave. A 4-for-0 trade. And you know it is absolutely in favor. Heavily for Toilet Jork. I got scared for a second with that Yule's initiation from Clueless. I thought for a second that Yule's almost blew the chain crowd control the Radiant had, but it worked out. Because even though Alk had the Chemical Rage and the BKB, he just wasn't tanky enough to stand his ground. Basher on the Jug, tons of extra damage from Clueless, the damage from Polo, just too much. So even though it might have been a suboptimal initiation, it seemed not to matter. I guess really there isn't great initiation anyways, because you're looking at, once again, like, Cask and Avalanche. I guess the Yules, I would like to see like an Avalanche into a Shackle instead, but it doesn't seem to matter. It's still a team fight win, that's what matters. 4-for-0. You get everybody but the Pangolier, so big team fight win. Toilet Jork, no Roshan can be alive. Keyword is can. Even though he can be alive, he isn't alive. If they were lucky, they would have parlayed that fight win into walking into the Roshan pit and said, hey, it's a 3-second Roshan. But guess who wasn't alive? It's our good friend Roshan. He's sleeping in late today. Still recovering from his wounds from the last kill, which means now Nebula are the ones who find a kill. Pick off on the Death Prophets. A very easy kill, which means now they can head towards the Roshan pits. And Roshan's alive in just 1 second. So when they fail to get kills, walking high ground here, they can now go back it off, grab this second Roshan, grab the Eves. They're going in! Fume! Fletchman is simply dead! Wait a minute! It's not a second Roshan we're looking at, it's a set of barracks mid we're looking at. And again, it's striking while the iron is hot. They know DP is dead. They're looking to force out buybacks, and that is one buyback forced out. Shackle shot, not on point. Witch Doctor buys back, and Dire back off. Radiant fear the Roshan. They know it could be in the Dire's near plans. In the scan, it's just too early, and oh no, Fume just got a double damage rune too! Which means that Radiant, they knew something was up. But now, because their scan missed, they might not go there in time. Fume, actually leaves the pits. Roshan's half HP. Wait a minute. Ice Blast hits on 3. But the bash on Fume. Fume is dropping low. He's half HP tossed in the air, and Fume's actually going to die. Wait a minute. He has the buyback. Polo is on the run. Marshall is stunning. E-Blade from Camel brings down the Tiny, but Fat Sloth has Omni Slash. And the stuns have now ended. Shackle on Camel, into a cast, into an Omni Slash, the bash, the silence, the kill, both big cores now dead. The remainder of Nebula will scatter, but Clueless finds the kill on each apparition. The EXO will tear him to shreds. 3 kills for Toilet Jork, only for 1. And not only is it a team fight win, the biggest spoil of the map right now has been claimed. It is the second Roshan of the game. The Aegis, the Shard, both claimed. Aegis to Fat Sloth, Shard to somebody else. He already has one, but still. Big gain there for Toilet Jork. And Toilet Jork are on the precipice of winning a 2-0 for the first time this season. They've played 9 other series. They went 0-2 in 3. They drew 1-1 in 6 of them. 6 different teams they took at least a game from. But tonight, they won Game 1. And now they're in a prime position to win Game 2 and take their first series win of the season. Look at this graph. Look at the win percentage. It says 50. 50. That's the best it's been for the Radiant in a very, very long time. Acid Rain has been Gale Forced, Blink, Shackle, Cast, Maledict, Power Shot, Death Ward, Dust. He will time lapse on the Weaver to attempt to escape, but in comes another Dust. Marshall will roll, looking to save his 4, but again, one more Shackle, one more Power Shot, and the Maledict damage simply too much. Marshall will roll, he will TP, he will get away, but it's simply one more kill for Toilet Jork. Look at the net worth lead. It is only 6k. And notice, Alchemist is 10k ahead of the Jug. So it's as if it's actually Radiance for the net worth lead right now. That's what it feels like. And Radiant, they should be feeling real good right now. They have the Aegis. We don't know where the Shard's going. Going to Tiny eventually, I'm assuming, because he's the one person without a Shard right now, but still, things are good. Things are real good for Toilet Jork. If you're a Toilet Jork fan, you have to be, at the very least, moderately happy right now. Pauljax, my man, you are dead. You are very dead. The Shard has now arrived at Polo, so all 5 members of the Radiant have Aghanim Shard in hand. Dire are going for a cheeky maneuver in the top lane. All 3 cores are there, but oh, it's a good smoke play. The wraparound gank finds the biggest kill if they can get it. Fume, half HP, the cask, the damage, but it's actually not enough. Fume will now Abyssal in, killing Witch Doctor. Windrunner's dead, they'll buy it back, but Clueless and Fat Sloth finish the job, bringing down Fume. Marshall will TP away, Avalanche not there in time. So it is a 2-for-2 across the map. Radiant used the buyback on a support, but it seems like the remainder of the course, not called Fume, will escape. Radiant still have the Aegis, and knowing that Fat Sloth just finished his Abyssal Blade, perhaps it is time to go. Run it down the middle lane. Force out a buyback on Fume. Because if you can get Fume on his buyback timer, that is a win condition. And at this point, Radiant are strong enough. They can kill the Alchemist. They have the damage, they have the lockdown through BKB to an extent, they have whatever it takes. Dire to Glyph. It will kill the wave. Radiance have a wave on the way. Backdoor should not be a concern unless Camel can kill this wave. Camel kills the entire wave now. There's a limited time for Radiant to hit buildings. And Backdoor is back. The push is now doomed to fail eventually. And it is time for the side of Toilet Jork to leave. Or no, they're staying. Omni Slash is pump faked, cancelled, by these stuns on the Dire side. Again, Fastloff wants the buildings, but he can't finish them. The damage can't go through backdoor. He's now on the run. Roll again in from Marshall, and just popped on Clueless. Jug is incredibly low. We'll lose the Aegis here to Marshall's roll damage. So it's time for Jug to return on life number 2. He'll spin and TP immediately. But it's a Missile Blade! Cancels the TP! Wait a minute! Fastloff will have to stand and fight. It's a 4v5. Dire have the 5. Omni Slash on Fume. Bounced around to everybody. Bulljack's low. Bulljack's dead. But Radiance are looking to fight. They go to Fume. He's tossed in the air on Alk. And now speaking of, he's on cooldown. He's going to be feared by the DP Siphon. Now, again, Alk on the run. Cask stuns. No, the blink. Fume runs away. Radiant pursue. They're trying, but they're too slow. Ice Blast in. Hits on 2. Hits on 3, actually. Fastloff low. Radiant collapsing. Tiny low. Witch Doctor dead. Tiny dead. Abyssal on the Windrunner. She's going to get disarmed as well. The Cold Feet to stun. The overlong blink to kill. 3 kills for the side of Nebula. And suddenly again we turn it around. And that is a dieback on the Windrunner. That is not... Actually, it's a dieback as well on the Witch Doctor. That's 2 support diebacks. And again, much like Game 1, we again head down the middle lane. We head in the other direction. That's 81 seconds without the Windrunner. Polo is certainly going to have to buy back. In this series, it's a never-ending story of back-and-forth Dota. My lord. Range-Rax, T3, already damaged, T3 dead, Range-Rax dead, Nail has a new target, Polo buys back, Radiant have 3 cores, but only 3 cores. It is 3v5, Blink, Abyssal, the roll, the Ice Blast, Fastloff is spinning, looking to man-fight, he will Abyssal be out, Clueless has been remnanted, no, Remnant misses, but it's still a kill on DP, DP has buyback, has BKB, has Exo, she's still ready to fight. Witch Doctor is alive in 5. Perhaps Radiant will fight with 4 heroes. DP buys back. Fastloff again will run forward. Has no Abyssal or Omni Slash. They're both on cooldown. Camel steps in, steps out. Force Sedimenta from Fastloff. Polo again looks to lead the way with the shard on A. Will cancel his blink. Which means Radiance actually keep the middle melee racks alive. And that is a lack of attention to detail from Nebula. They put a lot of attention. They ran bottom prematurely, perhaps. And the melee racks remained alive on less than 100 HP. That could come and bite them in the ass later. But for the time being, we again return to a very tense, neutral game state. Both teams know the stakes. Both teams lack key buybacks, but Radiance certainly are doing a lot worse in terms of buybacks. The most important hero for the Radiant, the Jug, has buyback, but the remainder of the team, with the exception of Flesh Canoe, does not have one. Windrunner on TP has it on cooldown for 3 minutes. Tiny for 6. DP for 7. Those are long buyback long buyback timers. Not ideal. Dire only lack the one on Ancient Apparition. It's on cooldown for 5 minutes. Weaver lacks the gold, but all 3 cores have their buyback. So Dire can make a play of getting a core dead without buyback to win the game. Radiance cannot do so. Acid plays with fire, but will not get burnt. Maybe a little bit singed, but he will be fine. Fat Sloth, the 1 core with buyback, will again play opposite his team. He's looking to farm some tier 4 neutral items. Radiant still lack all 5 of theirs, so it is big if Fastloth can get them. Fume walks into Fastloth. Both choose not to interact with Fastloth. Needs to be careful. Fume has a Missile Blade, so spin TP is not an option. The damage appears to be way too much for Fastloth to survive, and that will be an easy death on the Jug. Jug does have buyback, but he is almost certainly going to need to use it. The remainder of Toy the Jork will more or less play in and around the base. Fastloth, when he returns, will mean it will be a 5v5 teamfight. Fume looks to break the truce. Once again to run on in, look for a Blink Abyssal concoction type play. Fume again heads high ground. Hits the T3 bottom. T3 is low. Ice Blast on the way. It will hit Polo and only Polo, but I will break his Blink for a very long time. Blink Shackle. Will not latch. T3 bottom. Dead. Millirax mid. Still alive. Cask will delay. Jug is alive in 45 and still has buyback. Keep that in mind. Fume is silenced, but he seems not to care. He is hitting ranged barracks. Range racks dead and melees. The new targets of the ire of the dire. TP on... Actually, that's a very big TP cancel. Ensuring Flash Canoe goes down, but again, he does have a buyback. That will mean that dire attempt to go look for some more barracks. Middle again is the easy targets, but unfortunately it's the only targets. There is no play for top barracks because there is no ability to hit the top barracks. This little T2 right here, incredibly low HP, but it is keeping megas from happening. Which means, again, the entirety of Toilet Jork can play their base. They've allowed Fat Sloth to respawn without using his buyback. That could be big in the upcoming fight, having that extra life on the Jug. It means that Dire jumping out is not as consequential. Dire, again, will look for a big play. They want the third Roshan of the game. Roshan has been split this game. Dire got the first one, Radiant got the second one, but this third one is by far the most important. Marshall breaks the smoke, but he might just break his life. The Aeon Disc saves his life. Again, the Abyssal from Fat Sloth. Time-lapse will heal up Marshall, and now in comes the roll. Roshan, how low is it? It's incredibly low. Polo is dashed by Fume. Polo, dead, has a dieback. Fat Sloth will Omni-Slash. Roshan, dead. Edis on the floor. Who grabs it? No one grabs it. It's still there. Who grabs it? No, he's still grabbing it. Everyone's stunned. Now it's Fume. At long last, snatching the Aegis. Marshall, dead. Bulljax, dead. The fear on Fume. Wait a minute. That'll be Aegis lost in the Alchemist. Microfry is dead, but it's Radiant standing their ground. The Exo doing far too much damage. It's currently a 3v3 fight. Voodoo, Switcheroo from Flesh Canoe, looks for Fume, he's feared away, the Mallet, but the Time-Lapse and Acid Rain absolutely clutch, kills him up again, Windrunner buys back, Abyssal from Fat Sloth, the damage isn't enough, again, Fume dropping low, but the damage is coming on in, Chemical Rage healing, another Time-Lapse from Acid Rain, Fume still very low, but he's being healed up again, Trickster's Cloak, Shackle, it's on two, absolutely fantastic, Spin, the bash, the damage, the Focus Fire, Fume, again dropping, Abyssal, a Kill Farmer, he'll step away, Fume, dropping low, Concoction in, Jug, low, man fighting, but no, both carries, both dead, both have buyback, Clueless again, walks forward, BKB, now ending, Acid Rain, looking for backlines, Clueless will siphon, Camel Farmer, he'll cheese on Void Spirit, again, Void Spirit, head supports, Fletch Canoe low, Microfry low, but Camel Farmer has been shackled by Microfry, but again, the Time-Lapse again from Acid Rain, again, save the day, Flesh Canoe dies to assimilate, Clueless, a siphon, oh my, Fat Sloth buys back, Camel Farmer, dead, Weaver, man fights to Clueless, Exo again is now ending, the TP away from Clueless, will get the DP away from the fight, but what absolute chaos at minute 45 in Toilet Jork versus Nebula. Oh my lord. What the hell just happened? In this series, it's been absolutely fantastic. I mean, I thought Game 1 was good. I mean, Game 1 was good. But Game 2 is blowing Game 1 out of the water. The roll from Marshall, the Ice Blast from Bulljax, DP will be forced to BKB. She wants to still post up, but instead will back off towards the fountain, knowing the fight is over. Equilibrium in the lanes right now is not ideal for Toilet Jork. There are creeps coming in here, in the bottom lane, and eventually here, in the middle lane as well. That will be a persistent problem for the side of Toilet Jork, but they don't have to worry about Roshan, because Roshan's just gone. Third Roshan's dead. It won't be back for at least 5 more minutes. Both carriers again are in a man fight. Abyssal Blade on Fume. Marshall arrives, fast up a step away. Time lapse. Heals Fume. Abyssal onto the Jug. Jug. Little Swift Slash. But again, the roll is absolutely clutch. But no! Omni Slash there in time. Bulljack's dead. Fume dropping. Aeon on Pangolier popped. Spin away. Healing Ward on the ground. Acid Rain blinks in to kill the Healing Ward. But Vatsloff again kills Fume. Marshall dead as well. All three notably have buyback. Acid Rain jukes around a tree to run away from Micro Fry. Blink to the high ground. Wait a minute, they know! The Power Shot Scouts! The Orchid! The Tree Volley! The Avalanche! The Toss! The damage! Yes, it can! Kill Acid Rain. 4 dead on the side of Nebula. And another 6k cold swing. The cold lead again has left the building. This graph, again, much like last game, it's absolutely swingy. Up and down and up and down. Where does this stop? Nobody knows. But what we do know is, surprise, surprise, it's a team running it down the mid lane. This time, Toilet Jork running it down the middle lane as 5 heroes. Weaver has bought back. The remainder of the dead heroes have a buyback. Marshall uses his. Dire are alive on 3. Mid-Rax, the target. Marshall rolling. Acid Rain will go in as well, looking for the swarm, but actually does not hit it. Now, it's Fume buying back, blinking him, but again, he's stunned on Fume. Fume is abyssal. Save! The time-lapse save! Saves Fume! Acid Rain taking the game right there. What a fantastic time-lapse. That would have been a dieback on Fume. Instead, it's Marshall again rolling forward. Yules from DP, Swift Slash in, but Marshall remains alive. He's again rolling and stunning there on 2 heroes. Jug, dropping low, the bash, enough! Fume! No, he cannot finish the kill. He's instead dead on Alchemist. Camel steps in, but no, it's Acid Rain dead. Another dieback. Camel Farmer will E-Blade himself, but Bulljax is dead. He has a buyback on AA. But Nebula are running out of heroes to defend their base. 1 core dead without buyback. 1 support dead without buyback. And Radiant Snell, the blood in the water. They want to go for the throne. There's 1 wave. Only 1 wave. If Dire can kill this wave, the throne perhaps can be saved. Camel kills the wave. Backdoor is back quite soon, but Radiant seem not to care. Throne, the target, roll comes through, spin, will block it on the Jug, but Tiny is dropping low again. Marshall will use himself with the roll up. Swift Slash in, Bulljax dies back. Marshall kills Polo, Polo has the buyback. Throne, that's backdoor. Camel looks to save his throne. It's a 1v3 defense to save the throne. The fear on Camel, but Camel will dissimulate, has 1 step, will be fine. Back to the throne. It's full HP, and again, the wave has simply not arrived. Polo brings it in, but they're buying time. 50 seconds. These dieback timers are over half done. Perhaps this game... No, never mind. The creeps are in the base. Barring a miracle, Toilet Jork will take game number 2. The backdoor is lost. The throne is absolutely crumbling. And Toilet Jork take a 2-0 victory over Nebula. Man, that was epic. That was absolutely insane. A truly fantastic 2-game series. Toilet Jork pull a major upset. There's zero doubt that Bulljax and company were the favorites going into the series, but despite being the favorites, and despite having a winning position in both games, they lose both games. Toilet Jork, they've lost games of that fashion before. But this time around, it is the late game clutch factor to defeat the two-time Lads champions in late game scenarios. Toilet Jork stock absolutely rising after that win. That was fun. That was a fun cast. So, we will be back on Friday night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Polar Ass taking on Boring Zone. Got to go watch the Beast of US East play with 9 Dota players, of course. But for now, thank you to the viewers for coming out here and watching the series. If you want to cast your games, cast your tournaments, contact me on Twitter, twitter.com/BadgerDota2, or on Discord, BadgerNumber5713, or if you want me and Logical to be hired for your pro tournaments, your DPC events perhaps, contact me at those same spots. We are ready and able to be hired for your DPC and etc. needs. Thank you for the subscription by Zeox tonight. The patronage is very appreciated. Thank you to Math Magician for the raid. Both of these things are always very nice. It's always good to get the people to help out and to contribute to the stream. But we are going to wrap it up. That is going to be the end for tonight. As always, thank you for watching, and have a great night.